Just when you thought Lord of the Rings was done, we've got some new cards. Well, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Kitchen Table TCG. My name is Louie, and I hope you're having yourself a fantastic day. Today, I want to chat about the Lord of the Rings spoilers that just came out. I know we're supposed to be talking about Doctor Who spoilers right now, but man, Lord of the Rings spoilers came out, and this seems to be the special edition. They have these little bundles that are going on. I'm gonna put the cards on the screen, but where they make the panoramic scene, we seem to have seen these cards now. They have spoiled and they've come out, and to everybody's surprise, these are all new cards for that Lord of the Rings set. Now, a couple of, question marks and a couple of things to talk about. Number one, highly surprised that these are new cards. I was under the impression, and I thought that all these cards in this new set that comes out in November, December, it's like the holiday release, I thought all these cards were gonna be reprints from the main Lord of the Rings set, and it said exclusive artwork and stuff like that, but it said won't contain serialized cards. I really thought this was just Wizards' way of kind of doing a whole nother wave of these collector boxes and getting more money. I did not anticipate seeing new cards in this set. Now, I still don't believe that the whole set's gonna be different. We very well might not even see any additional new cards. They might just be the cards from these bundles, these special bundle things. But a couple of things to note. Number one, none of those cards that have been spoiled as part of the bundles are like Orcish Bowmasters or are the One Ring, are the expensive kind of high tier cards from the original set. So these are new cards that twofold will not be decreasing the value of those kind of staple cards we've seen popping up in Orcish Bowmasters and in those cards. So it's really interesting because there was a lot of speculation of would those cards be reprinted in these bundle things with the panoramic views, and would that devalue those cards, values. But that doesn't seem to be the case. We are getting new cards in those things. Now, again, I want to stress here, I still firmly believe that a lot of the other cards are going to see reprints in the collector box version of this. And we already know that the bundles have set packs, Lord of the Rings, Tales of the Middle-earth set packs. There's nothing different in the set packs. I assume they are the same kind of production of set packs that are in the regular Tales of Middle-earth, set boxes and then the other bundles. But these bundles are going to be really, really popular. I can tell you as a store owner, I'm very excited for these because people come in and they love the panoramic view. The Lord of the Rings, even people who don't play Magic, just the Lord of the Rings fans absolutely love the panoramic views and the calls to the different tropes of Lord of the Rings, and these are going to be extremely hot products in a local game store setting. Now, I'm not sure what that's going to do online in terms of, I don't know what the volume's going to be. We haven't had allocations. We haven't had any of that stuff happen. But from a walking into the store, especially around that Christmas time, this is going to be a very exciting product. So if you are a Lord of the Rings fan, I would highly recommend just contacting your local game store, asking if they're getting them in stock, and then kind of tracking to make sure you get on their pre-order list. Now, I don't think that this is like a limited product. There's no serialized cards. There's no FOMO that needs to be a part of this. But man, they look cool, and they have new cards, and they have some commanders. They have some, I haven't looked at all the cards. I'm not the guy that's going to tell you if a card's good or not, but they have some really cool looking commanders that you may want to build. You may want to interact with that stuff. So now let's turn into talking about the rest of that set as we are here. One of my fears for that set was that when you have a mass printed box, and we do know that some supply has been held back as they tried to get us, stores to buy Commander Masters and that stuff. But when you have a Lord of the Rings set that is printed in a large supply, and then you have a whole nother box that has that in it, I do think that there is some single value question marks on how will the singles hold up to a full-fledged reprint. And to be fair, we just don't know how the special limited edition collector box, we don't know how limited edition it is. We don't know how rare it's going to be for storage. I don't know if I'm going to get 40 of them or 200 of them or 8 of them. That has happened in Magic in the past, and so I think it's still too early to tell if these cards that are printed in November, December, or released in November, December are going to have an effect on the secondary market of Lord of the Rings cards, extreme effect on that, because we haven't seen this before where a set is released twice, especially a collector box is released twice. So it's going to be very interesting to see what the supply is. I do believe if the supply is high, that we are going to see very, very much impact, negative impact on the single side of Lord of the Rings. And for some people that's great. For other people, you built your set, you spent money, you don't want to see that go down. But there's another scenario here where other people are anticipating that, and other people anticipating that these are like better looking and stuff, and these come out and they're super limited and super hard to get, and that actually drives demand of the collector's cards from Lord of the Rings, the full borderless cards, the extended art, stuff like that, up. So it's going to be a wild thing to track, a wild thing to pay attention to. The other thing we have here, and this is where things get like kind of interesting, is we have Jumpstart Volume 2 happening with that Lord of the Rings November, December release. And so how many new cards are they going to create inside of that Jumpstart Volume 2? And will we see a solution to Jumpstart being, I think they've put a couple new cards in the Jumpstart packs from the sets in the past, but if they actually lean into that and they're actually good cards in those Jumpstart packs, would this create a demand for Jumpstart, the Jumpstart Lord of the Rings thing that hasn't really existed since Jumpstart 2022 when we had the anime art. So very interesting stuff going on in November and December. Definitely some stuff to keep your eyes out. I know Doctor Who is coming up right now. I know people are excited about Wilds of Eldraine, but don't forget that Lord of the Rings set is coming out in November, December. I have a feeling it's going to be a very exciting Christmas holiday season product for Magic the Gathering, and that they're going to do a lot of advertising for it, and that stores are going to, in my opinion, I would guess that this is going to be a limited supply thing compared to the typical collector box and that kind of stuff. So very important, all those cards are also not legal in Modern, and they're only legal in Commander and in Vintage, and so it's really interesting to see that too. They're not printed into Standard. They're basically just like the Commander cards. I'm talking about the ones that are in the bundle. So it's another very interesting thing that I left out. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you like this idea that Wizards kind of has a second reprint of the set that maybe introduces some additional cards in a cool box form? Do you like that idea, or do you hate it? And are you going to be picking up any of this in November or December? If the price point is, let's just go ahead and say it's around the price point of the current Lord of the Rings collector box. Have yourselves a great day. Be kind to the people around you. Remember, this is just cardboard. It's just stuff. It goes away at some point. Have yourselves a great day. Be kind to the people around you. We'll see you again next video.